Let's write the smart contract for the retail industry. So let me provide this license identifier and the Solidity version. And in that we are using 8.0. Make sure you use the same one. Let's provide the contract and we're going to call it retail. In that we have to keep a couple of state variables which allow us to store the information. So let's create that. We'll use this struct, and in that we are using the information about the product. Okay, so that's why I have taken this product variable, and in that we have to keep all the information about a single product. So let's call this byte 32, which is the name. Then we have this UNT 256, which is a price. Now we have this UNT 256, which is a stock. And that's the simple data structure we have taken about the product. But if your product is more complex, so if you're building for automobiles or if you're building for any type of product, it has a lot of data. But we are going with a simple approach to make you familiarize that how you can write the smart contract in the retail industry. So that's the one we have. Now here we have to create the mapping which allow us to keep the track of the product, the single product. Okay, now we have to take this address, we have to make it payable so the owner can payable, and now we have to initialize the constructor. And that we don't need to pass any data. All we have to do is to update the owner of the contract, and we have to use payable keyword. Okay, so that's hope the entire thing makes sense to all of you guys. Now let's write the functionality into the contract. So the very first function we have in the contract is to add product. So you can use this byte 32 or you can use it string. Both are the same, but byte 32 will save you gas fee. Okay, so if you haven't watched the Solidity complete course, make sure to follow that. In that I've explained everything. So byte 32, and that going to be my name, then we have to take the price, then we have to take the stock, and these are the three data we are taking. And here we have to simply come here and we have to do a check so that the message.sender is equal to the owner. Only owner can add product. The reason why we have included this condition that message.sender can only add the product, because what happened in the real world, you don't provide access to every single one to add the product. Okay, that updating part of the product is restricted to 1 and 2 individuals. So we are going with the owner. You can add multiple user to allow and update the product, but we are, for the simplicity, we are going with a simple approach. And once this requirement get fulfilled, we have to simply update the data, which we have to take the struct, and in that we have to simply take all the data, name, price, and stock. So this is the add product function we have. Let's come down. We have to create one more function called update product price. So if you want to update that, you can do that. In that we're going to take name and price, and we have to check for the condition that only owner can update the price and the name. So once we're done with that, now we have to simply check for this condition that product name and dot price is should be greater than 0. So you cannot set the price of the product to 0. It should be higher than 0. If it's 0, then we have to throw this error message that it not exist. Now we have to check for this product and we have to simply update the price. Hope this entire thing makes sense. So what we did, we have created this update product price function, and that we are taking this two data, byte 32 name and the price, because in this function we want to update the price, and we are keeping the track of the product based on the name. You can do it on based on the ID, but although this smart contract is pretty simple, so that's why we have taken the name of the product, and we are utilizing that name of the product, and we are passing into our mapping to identify the particular product to that we want to update the price. Okay, so that's very simple logic we have here. Let's come here. We have to create another function, and that will call product update product stock. So this will simply allow us to update the stock. That function is quite similar to the previous one. You can add the same logic in the previous one, but I try to keep things separate. Okay, so we have checked for the condition. Now we have to simply check for the other condition that the stock cannot be 0, and at the end we have to simply update the stock. Okay, so it's a two different function. You can combine it in one, but for the simplicity I take this approach. Let's come here. Here we have to take one more function which we'll call purchase, so anybody can buy this product. So in that we're going to pass the name and the quantity. We have to make it payable because there is a transfer of funds, and that we have to check a couple of conditions. The first condition we have that we have to check for the price. So whatever the price the user is providing for buying the product is equal to the price or not. Okay, and the quantity. Okay, so that's why I've used this multiply, so it will automatically get calculated and the transaction will happen. If it's less than that, then we have to throw this error message. That's the first condition. Now we have to do the condition, second condition, that the stock is available or not. So whatever quantity he is trying to buy, do we have enough quantity? If we have, then more, we want to make the transaction happen, otherwise we want to fail it. So not enough stock, that's the error message we want to display. Now once the two conditions get fulfilled, we have to simply subtract the quantity, and after that you can simply transfer the quantity to the user. Again, I'm leaving this open for you so you can utilize in different contracts. Okay, let's come here. We have to create one more function, get product 32. So if you want to get any product, all you have to do is to get it by the name. You can get it by the ID, and we are returning all the information we have provided in the struct. So here we have to do here we have to return all of the data about the product, the single product. Okay, this is the get product. Let's come here. Let's create one more function, which is a grant access. So this is a really common function you will find almost every single contract. So in that we have to check for the owner, so the owner can only grant the access, not anyone else. So once, and then we have to simply update. Now we have to create remove access, and we have to do the exact thing. So the first check we have to do is that the owner can only remove the access, and here we have to do one more check, that the user is not equal to owner, cannot revoke by from the user. Okay, that's pretty simple, and we have to simply update that. So that looks pretty good. And the last function we have to call the destroy contract function. So this will destroy the contract, and that we have to do this check, owner only, the owner can destroy the contract, and here we have to call this self destruct function. So I believe that it makes sense to all of you guys. Now you guys know how to write the contract for the real estate industry, retail industry. You can see that these functions are quite similar in every single industry. Okay, but you have to know that how to model the data, how to pass the data, how you can structure the entire data structure of the contract. Okay, so many of the functions I leave it open so you can use it, this contract, for a multiple purpose, and you can redesign the data structure. Okay, so that's why you can see I'm not building any logic. I'm just telling you that what are the checks you have to do when you write the contract, and what are the logics you have to build in the contract. Okay, in this contract you have noticed that we have used byte 32 instead of string, because when you will deploy the contract, there you have to save gas fee for yourself and for the company you are working for. So if you're working on an ether.js package, if you are working on your ID, then it's very easy to convert the string into a byte 32. You can use the ether.js package and you can do it, but ultimately we are testing the contract in the remix ID, so we don't have that privilege. So what I'm going to do is, for the testing purpose, I'm going to replace this byte 32 with the string. Okay, so I'll select that, I will click on F, and here I have to type string. So I'll type string, and I will replace all this variable to string. And we got a lot of error messages, so here I have to pass memory to fix this issue. So this one is gone. Now we have to copy that, and here we have to pass this memory to fix this one, and we have to pass memory here. This is one more we have. Click on memory, and here we have to pass memory. So you can see we have successfully replaced all the byte 32 to string, and now we can easily able to test this contract. So click on this deploy contract, and here you will have the instance of the contract, and here you will have all the function which you can call. So let's call the very first function, called add product. So this is the one we have, where it is, this is the one we have, and here we have to give the name of the product. So I'll call it Daulat. I have to give the price to 5. I can give the stock to 10, and if I make a request, the transaction went through. You can see the logs, and if you want to get the information about the product, all you have to do is to call the name. So I'll say Daulat, and if I make a call, I will have the data. If you pass the name of the product, you can get the data right up here as well. So copy that one, paste here, make a call. You can see all the data is working fine. What if I want to update the price of the product? So this is the function which I have to call. So open this one, and here we have to pass couple of data. So I have to pass the name of the product, and I have to pass the price. Here you have to notice one thing, the price should be greater than 0. So it can be go like less than previous the price you have set, or you can take it to the higher one. So I can go with 30, and if I make a call, the transaction went through, and if I make a call right now, here the price is updated. But here we have made this condition that only owner can update the price. So you can see all the logic is working fine, so we can update the price. So what else we have? We can simply update the stock. Okay, you can simply purchase. So this is the purchase function we have. This entire smart contract is absolutely working fine. So you can add a lot of functionality. You can use this contract to build a front end e-commerce platform where you can allow user to list their product, and you can integrate with IPFS, so all the data would be stored into the IPFS blockchains. Okay, so there is a tons of things you can do. Right now we have built this simple functionality, that what function you need to have when you want to build a contract like a retail industry. Like the product will have more complex information, it will have expiry date, it will have a origination, like where it was built, it will have those data as well. So you can add tons of things. The data will go in a more complex sense. So is there any a distributor? So you have to think about all of those things if you really want to keep the track of the product on the blockchain. Okay, so hope this entire video makes sense to all of you. If you have any doubt, any confusion, do let me know in the comment section, so I'll try to cover that. And we're going to use each one of these contract in one of our future video. Maybe I'll get a chance, so I'm going to make a project on this where we'll focus more on the blockchain rather than focusing on the UI part. Okay, so you will get a practical hand experience. So do let me know what extra function we can include into this contract, what ideas you have about this retail industry, which you can take it to the blockchain level. Okay, you guys have got the idea and how you can utilize this one, and it's going to be a good thing. If you want to step into the retail industry, then you can definitely think and you can take it to the next level. But as a developer point of view, I hope that you guys have got an idea that how you can structure the contract and what are the things you have to keep in mind when you build a smart contract. Okay, with that, I'm ending this video. Hope you guys have liked it. If you like it, hit like and subscribe, that will motivate me a lot. And do let me know in the comment section that what extra function we can include into this contract. For the time being, have a wonderful day.